This week, you guys are going to be writing a persuasive essay if you haven't already started. And in order to go over the requirements for that essay, went ahead and decided to do this for you since we weren't able to hold class on Thursday due to the flood. So let me just go ahead and get this PowerPoint going, and then we will go over the requirements. So your essay is due Thursday, March 22nd. That's the last day of the quarter. It's the last day any English work is due for English 9. You are required to do a persuasive essay, and I've given you several different topic ideas over the course of the last few weeks with your quick write prompts and your thesis practice writing. And so you have several options, which include parenting styles. You would give an opinion on the best parenting style, and you would support that opinion. You can talk about what's needed to make the school a better place. You can talk about a cause that you feel needs more attention and support financially. You can also talk about something that you think should become a law. And I went ahead and put together a little bit of a sample essay here for you. It's not complete, but I did it in order to go over the style and the format of the essay. And I'm going to go ahead and allow you guys, if you want to use this topic. So keep that in mind as you're going through. If you're struggling with coming up with a topic, you're welcome to use this topic. You just obviously have to put it into your own essay format. So this is essentially what your essay will be organized like. So you're going to introduce your topic in here. This is going to be your first paragraph. So introduce your topic. When you introduce your topic, you're going to provide background information and you're going to state your thesis. Then you're going to have your body paragraphs. There are going to be 3 body paragraphs. You're going to support your thesis with evidence to back up your opinion. Whatever your opinion is your thesis. And you're going to put those arguments in increasing order of importance. So you're going to start with your least convincing. You want to end on your most convincing. And then in your conclusion, your 5th paragraph, you're going to try to explain your thesis again, explain your stand on the matter. And usually, especially in a persuasive essay, you're going to make a call to action. So you're going to try to tell someone that they need to do something with this information. So the topic I went ahead and went with is there ought to be a law. And I decided on a law that I felt should be in effect. And you guys can all do this topic, there ought to be a law, and you can come up with your own laws that you think ought to be in effect. You don't have to choose the one that I went with, but I was just letting you know that if you want to, a lot of the information is going to be in here for you. So you're welcome to choose this, but you certainly don't have to, and you can go with any of the other topics. In addition, a few weeks ago, I gave you that list of 200 persuasive essay prompts that you can choose from as well. So first, we're going to choose our topic. So I chose a topic. If I could make any law, it would be that car companies must install a device that does not allow the car to turn on or run if it detects a cell phone is powered on in the vehicle. Such a law will prevent countless accidents and save thousands of lives. So here's my law. I've chosen my topic. My general topic is there ought to be a law. More specifically, here's my law, that they have to have a device installed in a car that will not allow it to run if a cell phone is powered on in the car. So now that I have my topic, I need to write my introduction. We're going to start with a hook. Hooks can be a lot of different things. We can have a startling fact or statistic. We can pose a question to the reader. We can recount an incident. So I did an example of all 3 of those. Startling fact and statistic might be that 25% of car accidents in the United States occur when a driver is texting. So 1 out of every 4 motor vehicle accidents occurs because someone is texting behind the wheel. It could pose a question to the reader. What is the leading cause of traffic accidents? And then I would go in to talk about how cell phones are a leading cause of traffic accidents, or I can recount an incident. This is not this didn't happen to me, but I've seen stories where something such as this has happened. So the sheet of fog was so dense that it took all my attention to stay between the lines of the road. But it didn't hinder the person in oncoming traffic from texting her friend to say I'm running late. That was the last text she ever sent. So we can give a little anecdote or a little story, and then we could go into the bit of a background information about how cell phones are a major problem and road hazard. So to continue, once we've done our hook, you're going to provide a brief overview of the argument. So that just basically means you're giving a little summary of the problem, and then what your opinion is on that problem is going to be your thesis. So we all know that driving can be dangerous. Cars are heavy objects and often traveling at a high rate of speed. However, when we include additional distractions, such as the use of a cell phone into the equation, cars become even more deadly. I wish I had the power to create a law. If I did, I would pass legislation that would require car manufacturers to install a device in each vehicle that would not allow the car to turn on or shift into drive if it detects a cell phone that is powered on within the car. So within there, if I go back here, I start with a hook. Then I have my little bit of background information right here, and then I have my thesis. So then I'm going to go on to body paragraphs 1 and 2, and these are going to be body paragraphs that give reasons for my beliefs or reasons for my argument. So this is where you're going to need to do a bit of research to find the reasons that support why this law would be a good one to put into effect. So I might look up some distracted driving statistics. And after doing so, I noticed that there was information about talking on the cell phone and how that's a distraction that leads to accidents. And then I also noticed within my research that there was a lot of information on texting and how that causes many accidents. So I've decided to go ahead and go with each of these as body paragraphs 1 and 2. Now, texting causes more accidents than talking on the phone. So in past years, it's actually been the opposite way around. But again, because you're going from least persuasive to most persuasive, I'm going to start with the talking on the cell phone because that leads to less accidents, and move into texting because that leads to more accidents. So here are a few different facts about talking on the phone and driving. If you were going to use these to go into a body paragraph, you would incorporate them into your body paragraph by starting with an introduction sentence that talks about one of the leading causes of accidents, of distracted driving accidents, is talking on the phone, both on a hands-free or handheld device. And you'll see within these statistics that they talk about how there's not a big difference between hands-free and a handheld device, even though the law is just to not have a handheld device. So then we have some evidence here that you would work into your paragraph. And after that, you're going to give some commentary or some response to each of those facts. So you're not just listing a bunch of facts. You actually have to interact with these facts and talk about why this shows such a problem with talking on cell phones. So we've got this one here that says evidence shows that people talking on their phones, even on a hands-free device, cause distracted accidents because they look at what's around them, but 50% of the time they are actually failing to see or process what's going on around them. So because they're talking on the phone, even though they look at the road signs, even though they look at the traffic around them, they're not actually seeing it. They're not actually processing it to know what's needing to happen. And this is nsc.org is a website you can go to for the information, so you can find other facts and statistics. This is the National Security Council. And then we also have another one here in 2010, so this is a while ago, before texting was as popular as it is now. Talking on the cell phone caused 21% of all the car crashes that year, which is 1.1 million car accidents. This number could actually be higher because cell phone related accidents are underreported. There's no test indicating that a cell phone is being used. So a lot of times the paper was saying it's not like drunk driving where they can pull you over and test for your blood alcohol level. People who get in an accident may not admit to the fact that they were on the phone. So they're saying that these types of accidents where cell phones are involved actually go underreported. So even though it's already telling us 21% of all car crashes that year were caused by or were associated with people who were talking on their cell phones, it may actually be quite a bit more than that. Then we would have our next body paragraph, which would focus on texting and driving. And so here are some different statistics. Texting and driving is the leading cause of death among teens. So more teens die because of texting while they're driving than any other reason. Texting and driving creates multiple distractions because not only are you not thinking about what you're doing, you're not thinking about the actual driving that's happening, but you're also taking your hands off the steering wheel and you're also taking your eyes off the road. And these all come from dmv.org, so you can look up different facts and statistics about texting and driving. And then one more from the CDC, one fact from the CDC, said sending and or reading a text message can take at least 5 seconds. Sometimes it can take more, but typically people look down for 5 seconds and then look up to see what's going on around them, and then they'll look down. But the problem with this looking down, even for 5 seconds, that's long enough to cover the length of a football field if you're traveling 55 miles per hour. And what they're saying is 55 miles per hour is the average road speed across all of the United States if you take into consideration everywhere people are driving. And so every time you're looking down to check a text message or to write a couple of words, you're traveling the length of a football field if you're going 55 miles per hour. That's a long time and a long distance to not have your eyes on the road. So that's our body paragraphs 1 and 2. Now, with our body paragraph 3, I'm asking you guys to do a counter argument. What would the opposition say? So here, I start with the opposite opinion. Some may say that this law is too extreme and would be too costly to implement. So you can pretty much say that about any law, because any law is costly to implement. But then you're going to want to maybe give some background information about laws that are already in existence that might be kind of close to this, but say how those just aren't enough. So currently, 15 states have laws banning handheld cell phones, and 47 states have banned texting and driving. But now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give some information that will counter this claim. However, if we look at the total number of distracted driving related accidents and deaths, these laws aren't doing the job. People are so connected to their phones that they can't shut it down even when they are driving. So now we want to find some facts that show how greatly this is impacting our country. We want to find some general distracted driving because of cell phone facts. We've got here a couple of options. 11 teens die every day from texting and driving. In 2015, 3,477 people died and 391,000 were injured in motor vehicle crashes where the driver admitted to texting or using a cell phone. And here, cell phones decrease the reaction time of a person. A 20-year-old on their cell phone has the reaction time of a 70-year-old. So we might go into some detail on some of these and talk about how all of these show that we really need to do more than just give a ticket because people are talking on their cell phones or texting on their cell phones. It is impacting our society too greatly, and too many people are being injured or losing their lives. Then we want to have a conclusion. So this is going to be our 5th paragraph. You're going to restate and reinforce your thesis and your supporting evidence, and you're going to make a call to action. So we might do something like, how many more lives need to be lost before we do something about this issue? The statistics are startling, and the laws that are in effect do not deter the use of cell phones, texting, or hands-free devices. We need to take a different approach. We must install a device in all cars, even older models, that will not allow the car's ignition to engage if a powered cell phone is detected in the vehicle. Talk to your state legislator today. So that's my call to action. I've given a claim that more needs to be done. I've gone on to give a little bit of a recap that even though we have laws right now, they're not enough, and too many bad things are happening to people because of these cell phones that involve motor vehicle accidents. And finally, my claim, talk to someone about changing these laws. And then that would be your persuasive essay. So that would be all 5 paragraphs, your introduction, 2 body paragraphs with reasons or evidence, 1 counter argument paragraph, and finally a conclusion. This week, I will be in class on Monday and Tuesday. Please come in if you need extra help on your essay one of those 2 days. I am going to be out of town on Wednesday and Thursday this week. So if you wait until the last minute to write it, you can text, call, or send me an email, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But I may not be readily available at every second of the day. So you're going to have to be patient if you wait till Wednesday or Thursday. And keep in mind, it is due by Thursday at 11:59 p.m. That's the last time that any work will be taken for this quarter. So anything you have from weeks 7 through 10 needs to be turned in by Thursday at 11:59. Good luck, and please let me know if you have questions.